Who's there?
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king.
Bernardo.
Have you had quiet, guard?
Not a mouse stirring.
If you meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste.
I think I hear them. Stand ho, who's there?
Friends to this ground.
A legsman to the Dane.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
Has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him. Therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
Tush, tush, 'twill not appear.
Sit down a while.
Peace, break thee off. Look, where it comes again.
In the same figure, like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar. Speak to it, Horatio.
What art thou, and usurpest this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form, in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
It is offended.
See, it stalks a word.
Stay, speak, speak, I charge thee, speak!
'Tis gone, and will not answer.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy?
It is not like the king.
As thou art to thyself, 'tis strange.
Thus twice before and jump at this dead hour. With martial stalk hath he gone by our watch.
In what particular thought to work, I know not. But in this gross scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange and eruptuous state. Though yet of Hamlet our dear brother's death, the memory be green, in that it is befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him. Together with remembrance of ourselves, therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress of this warlike state, we have, as 'twere with defeated joy, with an auspicious and one dropping eye, with mirth in funeral, and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale, weighing delight and dole, taken to wife, nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along, or all our thanks. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is't, Laertes? What wouldst thou have?
Dread, my lord. Your leave and favour to return to France.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son.
A little more than kin, a little less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not, for ever, with thy valid lids, seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Ay, madam, 'tis common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam, nay, it is. I know not seems.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost a father, that father lost his, and the survivor bound, in if filial obligation, for some term To do obsequious sorrow, but to preserve in obstinate condolement, is a course of impious stubbornment. 'Tis unmanly grief, we pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father, for let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears to his son, I do impart towards you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you to remain here, in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers. Hamlet, I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark, madam, come.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew! Oh, that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter! Oh God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world! Fie on! Oh, fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature process it merely, that it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king, that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother, that he might not beteem the winds of heaven, visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month, let me think not on it. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe, all tears. Why, she, even she, oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason, would have mourned longer. Married with mine uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules, within a month. Ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her gallant eyes, she married. O most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets!
Hail to your lordship.
I am glad to see you well, Horatio. Do I forget myself?
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
What is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral back in meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. My father, methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father?
Season your admiration for a while, with an attent ear, till I may deliver, upon the witness of these gentlemen, this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
My necessities are embarked. Farewell, and sister, as the winds give benefit, and convoy is assistant. Do not sleep, but let me hear you from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet, and the thriving of his favor, hold it a fashion, a toy in blood, a violent in youth of primy nature, forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting, the perfume and supulence of a minute no more.
Not more, but so?
Think it no more. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor cottle doth emerge the virtue of his will, but you must not fear. For his greatness weighed, his will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, and as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice depends the safety and health of this whole state, the way that loss your honor may sustain. If you too credit your ear, you list his songs, or you lose your heart, or you chest treasure open to his unmastered inopportunity. Fear it, Ophelia, fear it, my dear sister, as you keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart.
I stay too long, but here comes my father.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard, for shame. In this precept in thy memory look, thou character to thine own self be true, and it must follow, as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you. Go, your servants tend.
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
The air bites shrewdly.
What hour now? I think it lacks of 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed, I heard it not. Then draws near the season, wherein the spirit held his wont to walk. Look, my lord, here it comes.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. King, father, royal Dane. Oh, answer me! Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell why thy canonized bones, hearsed in death, have burst their cerements. Why the sepulchre, wherein we saw thee quietly inurned, hath opened his ponderous and marble jaws to cast thee upon again.
It beckons you to go away with it.
Do not go.
No, by no means.
It will not speak, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee.
What if it tempt you towards the flood, my lord, and there assume some horrible form which might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness?
It waves me still. Go on, I'll follow thee.
You shall not, my lord.
Hold off your hands.
Be ruled, you shall not.
Unhand me, gentlemen. By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say, away! Go on, I'll follow thee.